Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ball Chat Podcast, the weekly football roundup show. My name is Benton. Along with the family. Junior, how are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
Benton, you see when I say certain things on this show, you have to believe me. You have to believe me. Because I called it last week that Hag was going to get fired.
Oh, you already reached over Eric Ten Hag?
No. That's just my intro.
Oh, okay. Because there are those of us who knew that Ten Hag was going to get sacked, but we wanted the entertainment. We wanted him to stay just for entertainment value. So, yeah, Manchester United to keep the Hag in place. Junior, I have Capleton slew them video up because I was listening to some Capleton and maybe some people are gonna take this personally, but we're not gonna light a fire. Marcello, come on down. Of Real Madrid. Family of Real Madrid. But football family, hopefully have a great week though.
Yeah, man, definitely. And for all those that are in the Caribbean, over in Europe, them never experienced a time change that we experienced this weekend, right? So this weekend was a fall back, where we lose an hour or we gain an hour sleep overnight. So normally it would have been 6 o'clock, now it's 5 o'clock. So that get darker earlier.
Yeah, and normally it's a situation where I would have, it's theoretically you're supposed to get more sleep, but I am sleepy today because last night I stayed up, especially because of this extra hour. I stayed up to watch New Zealand defeated India in India in our test match. First victory in India since forever. First test series victory for New Zealand in India. And Junior, them whitewashed India, aka 3-0 defeat. So I'm a bit sleepy today because I stayed up last night, regardless of the hour fallback, because of this New Zealand test match victory over India.
I know, my father was talking about that, and he was saying that how cricket has changed. Because I know this is not a cricket show, but cricket has definitely changed. So the games, it's almost unpredictable now.
Yeah, man. And you know what? This is much more interesting. I have to agree that Test cricket is on life support. But when teams like India can lose, one of the big players in this business at home, not just lose, get beat up, kick up, then this is good for Test cricket. So so family, I'm sleepy today. So you have to go, Manchester United have to run the show for the most part. But let's get to the football discussion. We rolled out a new format last week where we essentially move ballers and bugs throughout the show, family. We're going to discuss ballers and bugs throughout the show. We're going to highlight ballers and bugs throughout the show. We're going to continue with the same format this week. Again, I think last week we had some errors, but we got most of it out. And one of the big things is that sometimes we forget the ballers them. So while we are review are the bugs, and while we review the content, the games themselves, we'll be able to remember the ballers and bugs throughout the show. So ballers and bugs segment, family. If you have ballers, send them on. Ballers and bugs segment is not gone. Ballers and bugs will still be highlighted. Send them on. We're just going to incorporate it throughout the show. And if you have questions or comments, send them on. On the docket today, family, we have Manchester United versus Chelsea in the big game in the English Premier League. Maybe the Spurs versus Aston Villa game was a much better football game.
It's a bigger game. Spurs Aston Villa is a bigger game.
Well, the prime time slot game, Manchester United versus Chelsea. We're going to discuss that game. We're going to also take a look at other results. Man City officially defeated, officially dropped 3 points in the English Premier League. We're going to Arsenal again. Yeah, we're going to discuss Arsenal again. Another bad week for Arsenal. Take a look at Ballon d'Or discussion and Vinicius Jr., Rodri, and the entire fallout regarding that fiasco, or Vinicius Jr. himself. We'll also discuss Marcelo, formerly of Fluminense, now contract terminated, now in their road. Jamaican Football Report, Busby Jr.'s #1 manager, article in The Guardian, JFF, Dennis Strong, rebuttal interview at Sportsmax regarding the Guardian article. We'll discuss that, get the family's thoughts. And in a nutshell, something fishy around this Busby thing. But we'll discuss that. We'll talk about schoolboy football and other football, Jamaican football news. And also we want a Caribbean news. We want to highlight Dwight York getting the post at Trinidad and Tobago. As a new man, we'll talk about get Junior's thoughts. But let's kick it out, family, and get to our football roundup. Before we even get into football, we don't know, it's all about life. Life is precious, and it doesn't matter. There's all these catastrophic events in the world, or major events in the world, and from war around a corner and all these things. But to the family in Valencia, we know so the football family is heavily affected by the flooding in Spain, in Valencia, Spain. So, Junior, we just, we're sending our best. If you can support, you support. But, we saw images of all that flooding, and it's not normal.
I think I know one player lost his life. A player, and that's unfortunately in the floodwaters. I think he plays for Valencia. And okay. Apologies for not remembering the name, but now that you brought it up, Ben, I remember that. Pretty sure a Valencia player died. And like I said, we'll celebrate the game, but it's still a game, and life occurs during the games. And it's very unfortunate. Some of those videos.
Yeah.
Some of those videos is wow.
Yeah. So
catastrophic flash flooding. It's crazy. Yeah. And when I find the player name, I just out of respect, I'll call it out. But yeah.
Yeah. And of course, at Ball Chat, we're all about community, family, football. This is how we do it. We're all part of this football family, and when one community is affected, all of us affected here at Ball Chat. So you don't know. We're going to send.
I found it.
Go ahead.
Jose Castillo.
Okay.
He's a Valencia Academy player. 28 years old, lost his life in the flash floods.
Okay.
So boy, rough.
Yep. It's a way, and the magnitude of the event, the level of the rainfall and the catastrophe. The water level rose so quickly. Those families. The human experience, family, is something else. Tragedy, sadness, happiness, all mixed up in this whole thing. All right, make we get to football before we make people depressed. And, people use Ball Chat in times to get a break from the reality of the regular life. Even though Arsenal fans might be depressed.
Some might say that they are affected by floods as well.
Might be affected by floods.
Big up BM.
Hey, big up BM. Bless up to the family. Junior, in the most drawn game in the history, most drawn fixture in the history of the English Premier League, Chelsea and Manchester United is the most drawn fixture in the history of the English Premier League. We have another draw game on our hand today. The second match for Ruud van Nistelrooy, the man in the seat as an interim. 1-1 game. Manchester United fan, talk to me. What did you saw? Did you see anything that you can hang your hat on, knowing that Ruben Amorim is going to be coming in soon?
No. And I've been tricked before by this team and most of these players. So no, there's nothing to hang my hat on. I am happy that the game, as a Manchester United fan, I'm happy it's a draw game. I didn't want I would have loved to win and get the 3 points, but the problems that would come with Ruud van Nistelrooy beating Chelsea, and then you're moving on to the new coach, it's not worth it. And I just want a fresh start. So no, there's nothing to learn. Chelsea's a good team, but Chelsea's also still a project that is shown. They're still incomplete. They still have some adjustments needed. I think Caicedo had a very good game today. Cole Palmer went missing most of the game. So that's what I talk about, Cole Palmer's inconsistency. So I think Maresca can be proud of where his team is. I will give a ball of the week to Caicedo, and definitely Maresca can say, look, we came here, played an emotional team, got down to a penalty and found a way to draw the game and feel good about it. Manchester United, no, it's a restart.
Regarding the red card, after the alleged red card, Enzo Maresca said, quote, this is from Haters TV, says, quote, when there's no intention to go for the ball and you just go for the player, it's a red, end quote. We saw the pile and here is the image for the family. In fact, you know what? If it was for copyright infringement, we would try to get the. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Hey, yo, take pile under you. Ooh, yo, Junior. Red card or not in your eyes?
It's not a red card. That's not a red card. No. Could he have got that yellow? Yes. Is it a reckless play? Yes. If he was to be given a red card, would I be surprised about it? No. But in that same vein, we saw a foul that went on Haaland that wasn't even called. And the commentator said, oh, the player got the ball and his foot went over the ball. And when you look at the tackle that went to Haaland, it wasn't as high, but it was eerily similar to the foul that his dad got from Roy Keane. Really was. It looked that bad. It's just that the studs were a little bit above the ankle and not towards the knee, and it wasn't as obvious. But to me, it's the same thing. So if this is a red card, then the foul on Haaland should have been even called a foul. It wasn't even called. So we'll have to go back to consistency again.
Talk to me about the pile, brother, because the man hang on.
Oh, it's a rotted pile.
Talk to me about the butcher getting pile.
It's a rotted pile. It's a rotted pile. And you know what? I see it now. Cole Palmer definitely have a little Jamaican in him. That is a Jamaican player. If Cole Palmer was 100% British, he's passing it or even try to salad him. But pile him there, sir, brother. That's one of the nastiest pile. Yo.
Regarding, of course, opposing views, Ruud van Nistelrooy said at that moment, I didn't see it as red at all. It is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, VAR looked at it and it's not a red. It's you can't cry over spill milk. And I think Maresca is probably crying over spill milk there.
I'm big up Jeremy. That's what Jeremy said wasn't a red, coach, an idiot.
No, all right. So two things I want to say about this particular game, if you don't mind. This young team narrative, Maresca essentially highlighted that they're a young team. They're going to places that they have to learn to play, blah blah blah. And a part of me is getting a little bit maybe tired with this young team narrative regarding this Chelsea. Yes, it's the youngest team age-wise regarding the English Premier League, being 23 years and something months, whatever it is. But this team, the players themselves, they're not a big man, them. Moses Caicedo, 2 years at Brighton. All right. Reece James, captain, lineman, player from Wapikill Phillip. Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner. Neto, player from Wapikill Phillip at Wolves. Wesley Fofana was a staple at Leicester City before he made that big move. My question to you is this. This young team narrative in terms of ball game, is this a bit premature for this, or lowering the expectation for Chelsea and Maresca?
No, I think it's actually raising the expectations for Maresca.
Right. And because it almost seems like some sort of a cop out. They are young teams, so I expect them to not be. Because bottom line is that the way Chelsea has been playing, Chelsea is supposed to fix up this bug side Manchester United today. Simple.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that changed today was that Manchester United got an interim manager bounce.
But I mean, and that's your perspective. Not, but you say
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Teams will lose games, right? You're not everybody is going to be Arsenal invincible. So you're going to lose games. The age factor or the lack of experience factor comes into when you lose a game twice. You lose the same game twice. I think Chelsea, and I don't think Maresca respects Manchester United, but I think Maresca believes what you believe as well. They should have won this game. They're coming in, they are the favorites, right? But I think he's really looking towards next Sunday against Arsenal, where, all right, you play a high emotion game. We are young. We are a young team. How are we going to react next week? How are we going to approach a game next week? Because trust me, whether we like Arsenal or not, next week is going to be Arsenal's best game of the season. Sink or swim. Their approach next week is sink or swim. So this is where Chelsea's youth can come in and say, okay, I just played a high emotion game against Arsenal. They're playing midweek, and then we're going to turn, against Man U, playing midweek, and then we're going to turn around and play against Arsenal. How do we approach this game? We don't have a John Terry in the locker room. We don't have a Frank Lampard in the locker room. Who is the guy that is going to come out and say, look, last week is last week. This week is this week. We're playing a better team. Let's go out there and show up. Who is that player for Chelsea that is going to stand up and lead this team? And I think that's what Maresca is really hinting at, because you're not winning every game, Captain Obvious. There's no expectation for that. But consistency is what we're looking for.
Yeah. Big up Jeremy, and Jeremy say you need some experience in your team. Yeah, fair enough. How much experience do you need to beat a bug side?
It's not about how much experience you need. For one, to beat yourself, to how much experience to beat a bug side.
Yeah.
Part of it is luck.
All right. So we are agreeing that Manchester United is a bug side.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Chelsea has been red hot to some extent, both in Europe and in the Premier League.
Right.
All right. You have a player like Nkunku on the bench, who I think should be seeing more minutes. Yes, injury prone, but he has not been injured of late. What's the scenario with just having Jackson played so many minutes today?
But Jackson is the hottest player. Why Nkunku? Look, for me, I'm big up. Come on, I'm going to talk from a Chelsea perspective.
Jackson is them forward. Enough said.
But I'll speak from a Chelsea fan perspective. I am happy with what Maresca is doing. Maresca look at Chilwell and say, yo, you don't fit the plans, brother. Whole bench. Maresca look at Enzo Fernandez, who he gave the captain armband to start the season. And look at him right now and say, yo, you're not fit the team right now, whole bench. Right? creating this hunger. You create this need to go out there and play football. So look, Jackson went and played today, did nothing, right? I expect to see change next game. And Nkunku might come out and play the next game. And he might play against Arsenal. No, you better grab it and run. But this idea of name brand player doesn't exist at Chelsea. And I love that. I really love that.
And maybe in Maresca's defense, they have European Conference League game in the middle of the week. So maybe he has one eye on that. Right?
No.
And also the Arsenal game. But you play who is in front of you. Today, you beat who is in front of you. You take those 3 points, kick this bug side, not them face, and say, yo, next game.
So why did Man City lose?
We'll get to Man City later.
But you have to use the same logic.
But you doesn't have to use the same logic. Pep has a perfect explanation. All right, regarding Manchester United, I was pleasantly, as expected, surprised, pleasantly impressed with the openness of the team and the approach. Now, granted, it's a new manager, interim manager, Bounce, and maybe players are trying to impress one Mr. Ruben Amorim. If you're Ruben watching that game, Junior, today, what do you take from that football game?
Look, I said this before on the show. I had a manager that told me once that anytime a manager, and it's before I went into lead at some former leadership position. Anytime a manager leaves a position, anytime he gets fired from a position, in the real world, any sensible manager that is coming in has to look at the staff and be like, why want to make the manager get fired, or why is the manager not here? I can't come in and trust him, right? So if I am Amarin, I'm looking at this Manchester United team and saying, wait a minute, wait, hold on. I watched the West Ham game last week, and I see man missing open goal. I see man a lick crossbar. I see man no one pass the ball. Coach get fired. Then you guys go play against Leicester City B-side and couldn't stop score. Then you go play against Chelsea that the whole world expect you to lose, and you go out there and almost win the game. I can't trust them. To me, it makes it even worse. It makes them look even worse. If I was going to be the coach, I wouldn't want none of them near my team. Give me the player that plays consistently and tries hard. Show me on tape a player playing consistently. That's the player I want. Show me a player that does stupidness, coach get fired, and all of a sudden like a world beater, brother go find the next team. Simple.
All right, your baller from this game. I'm going to give a baller award to Moises Caicedo. Goal, impressive in that midfield. I thought he did an excellent job in that midfield, especially Romeo Lavia was missing for a lot of this football game. I think they have worked well together. Do you have any ballers or any bug? You know what, Bruno Fernandes get a bug because he should have won this game for Manchester United. Golden opportunity, should have won this game for Manchester United and secure those 3 points. Complaining Bruno gets a bug for me out of this football game.
Garnacho is a bug too. And Jeremy, like, to copy what Jeremy had said, his baller is Mazari, and I agree. Mazari definitely playing consistent. I big up Dalton. I'll get to Liverpool in a second. Ballers is Gakpo for his hat-trick against Brighton midweek, and Saturday Salah, Liverpool and Bournemouth plus Newcastle. Yeah, right. But yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead, Junior.
No, but that's it. That's it. Everybody else is just the same. And Garnacho want 2 bucks.
All right, those are the views of Junior and not Balcha.
Garnacho want 3 bucks.
Those are the views of Junior and not Balcha. All right, we could continue. Let's actually get to some entertaining football games this weekend and let go this idiot game. Spurs, impressive, absolutely impressive 4-1 victory over Aston Villa. Junior, I will say this. I mean, I could go out on record right now and say this. I am wrong. I think Spurs is going to win a trophy this year. I think Spurs is going to win a trophy. Whether it's the Carabao Cup, which they eliminated Man City, or the European something, they're going to win a trophy. So I will prepare my apology for Ange when they win a trophy this year. Not the Premier League, of course. Junior, talk to me about the Spurs fix-up of Aston Villa.
Those are the views of Benton and that. Nobody around ball chat. This win against Aston Villa, I think, speaks more about Aston Villa than Spurs. And we could have been having a completely different discussion right now. Because remember, when Aston Villa took the lead, went into halftime up 1-0, came out second half, and Son put a peach of a cross in. And I think Johnson scored.
Yeah.
And right after the cross and the goal, what did Ange do? Take half Son.
Yeah.
That decision could have gone so many ways, and only one way is right, and the way the game ended up. It ended up in their favor. I think it's a good game. It's a great turnaround by the Spurs, but I think that's smoke and mirrors. I really think it's smoke and mirrors. Tottenham, for one, City is in a bad rut. Let's just start with the midweek game. City obviously is bored. And maybe because it's Pep, I'm saying that. But City definitely wayward. Spurs jump on them. Come out this game, whatever Ange tell them halftime worked. And they came out second half, a different team. And he gambled, took off the captain after the captain created the goal. And somehow they found 3 wicked goals. So I won't read too much into it, to be honest. It's one game. Unai Emery get a birthday present from him team. Hold that, brother. And we'll just move on. But we'll see. We'll see.
No, I mean, ball of the week, Dominic Solanke scored 2 goals. You are maybe underwhelmed by this week, Tottenham's week, but I was very impressed. I mean, say what you want regarding the defeat of Man City, but at the end of the day, you defeat the so-called big team in this business, and you're in a running for a trophy. And I think then to follow that up with the so-called one of the big, well, not one of the informed team, yes, because they've been successful in Champions League so far in Aston Villa, and they've been having a very good season. Now, granted, we can say Aston Villa may not have the deepest squad, but to be able to follow that up after that Man City victory in the middle of the week, to then stay at that high level and go, remember they went down 1-0, to Aston Villa, and then just come back and say, yo, Aston Villa, yeah, you done. Boom, kick off your face. 4-1. I mean, that's just, Unai Emery put on his golden child, Duran. Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
No, but
put on his golden child, Leon Bailey. Nothing changed.
Speaking of Bailey, that's what BM is asking. What's going on with your golden boy, Bailey? Something is off this season. And also, Richardson cannot catch a break. And that's true. Because Richardson came on, turned the game around, and in creating the goal for Solanke, hurt himself.
Yeah.
Jeremy said he wants Villa drop off a cliff and bring Fish Bailey.
No, but very impressive. I mean, we're not really. I have to give Spurs and like you said, and credit for the decision making ball of the week to their performance and to their success. I mean, and even James Maddison, who was out in the cold one time, scored that peach of a goal. So, and to be able to score that against probably the best goalkeeper in the world, it was all Tottenham. I mean, impressive.
The player that goes unnoticed for me is not betting court. Sarr.
Yeah, Pape Sarr.
That brother play a game today.
Yeah,
because Aston Villa, they show that they have adjusted their playing style. Their Achilles heel from last year was I'm going to play the high line and nothing else, right? Today, they played a more composed approach. They had a more composed approach to the game. That took away from them going forward, but they were more composed in the game and tried to boss the midfield. I'm going to tell you, Betancourt did well, but Sarr dominated the midfield.
Yeah, man, he's a workaholic. He's a workaholic. Yeah. He puts a shift in when he's on.
And Jeremy bring up a key point in us. He said City is trying to make it to January transfer window to bring in Rodri replacement. Watch.
Well, yeah, we'll discuss City here in a second. Arsenal dropped the soap again. 3 games in the English Premier League where they have not secured a victory. Dropped 3 points against Bournemouth, 2-2 against Liverpool last week, and this week, man called Isaac stitch them up 1-0. Ball of the week to Alexander Isaac. The youth is a goal scorer. Last week we spoke heavily about he should have scored or passed the ball. I think it was against Chelsea.
Last week Chelsea. Yeah.
What does this defeat say? Is it more about Arsenal or is it more about Newcastle rounding into form?
To me, this was a rhetoric game of the weekend. What I mean by rhetoric game is there'll be no winner. There's no draws. Somebody's going to win in terms of the coaching rhetoric, and somebody's going to lose. If Eddie Howe had lost this game, especially with Newcastle having that first half that they had, because it's one thing when your players go out there and perform, all right, coach, you know how to prepare the team. But the mark of a good coach is that he can make adjustments throughout the game. And I was watching the game saying to myself, no way Arsenal don't come back. There's no way Arsenal don't find a way after City dropping points the way they did. There's no way Arsenal don't capitalize on this. And
remember, the Arsenal game was the first game on the day, so they weren't aware of the City game yet.
Sorry.
They've dropped points in the last 2 weeks. So for Arsenal, that is, in terms of Bournemouth and Liverpool.
So I'm thinking to myself, Arteta must. There's no way Arsenal can lose this game. No way. We sit down and we talk bad about Eddie Howe every week. Every week we say, oh, Newcastle not investing in the team anymore because we don't know if Eddie Howe is the man, right? If they had lost this game, I am willing to argue that Eddie Howe could have been fired. Because with Ten Hag getting fired this early, if you notice, everybody talking about every coach that is struggling in a way that, yo, this coach might be on the hot seat. Yo, change might be coming. Yo, this coach is available. If you kind of notice how the rhetoric in the media is shifting. So I saw this game as Eddie Howe had to get some reform result. And you start the team like that, if you don't finish that game, you are the fault. And the way that to me, Arsenal, I mean, Declan Rice, a one game bug of the week, but yo, the man is just a destroyer. You expect him to score? Nah. And it's right now, the rhetoric right now, it's same old Arsenal. We've seen Arsenal.
We discussed this when? Last week or the week before. As long as Arsenal remain, Arteta and Arsenal remain without a EPL title, this pressure every game, there seems to be a conclusion by some of the pundits that Arsenal is already out of the title race because of the recent poor run of form in English Premier League. I mean, dropped 3 points against against Bournemouth, dropped tie against Liverpool and today. So the last 3 games, what? But it's what, game 10? Are you out of the title race already?
That's post-traumatic. That's PTSD.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy. And you have Patrice Evra talk about Netflix. And
I big up Fabi Fran. That's what Fabi Fran was saying. If they just write the quote right there in the chat.
What does Arsenal need to do? They play Chelsea next weekend. Must win football game. They go to Stamford Bridge. They have to win this game.
They have to. They simply have to win that game. That is a must-win game That's what I'm telling you. Chelsea, we're going to see what Chelsea's made of. There's no way Arteta and Arsenal approach that game and not go guns out 100%. No way. And especially with the way how Chelsea play. Remember, Chelsea don't believe, Maresca don't believe in bunkering down, don't believe in parking the bus. Maresca believe in, I'm going to come here, I'm going to attack you. So it's either Chelsea going to come out and fight fire with fire or run the risk. And Arteta has to come out of himself. Has to. And Jeremy asking, when does Arteta time run out? It's a very good question.
I mean, if they don't win the EPL this year, I mean, seriously, there will be, I mean, this is what, year 3?
And Fabi said Chelsea at the bridge, he can only see a draw. No.
They have to win that football game.
This is
Fabi. Have to win. You're a title contender. You have to get back in the title race. And now essentially, Arsenal, Junior, sorry. Now essentially, Arsenal is playing catch up with Man City. Of course, Man City drop points. We'll get to Man City here in a second. And Liverpool. Now, they have to essentially win football games and hope results go their way.
No, and don't disrespect them. We soon talk about the ultimate ball of the week, Nottingham Forest. Arsenal is chasing them too. And also, Arsenal is chasing Chelsea, who is above them in the table right now.
Nottingham Forest foolishness.
I know, but them chasing them. So we sit down and say, oh, they're title contenders. Liverpool is the best team in I would almost say Europe right now, but Liverpool is the best team in England right now. Hands down, bar none, no questions asked. Man City is chasing Liverpool. Arsenal is trying to chase the top 2 teams. If you lose to Chelsea next week, you're not only chasing the top 3, you're chasing Chelsea. You're going to also be chasing Aston Villa, who probably going to win next week too. So you possibly will be out of the Champions League race. Not out of it, but you're chasing a Champions League spot. A team that we said coming in should win the title. No, this is the most pressure. As I'm saying, this is must-watch TV next week.
Well, Arteta did challenge himself. He said, quote, you need to stand up and find solutions, end quote. Because he does recognize the issue. So he's not shying away, Junior. Not backing down from the responsibility. He's not shying away. All right. Man City versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth defeated Man City 2-1. Now, Junior, Gravadal was voted by the fans. The fan vote. Gravadal was voted by man of the match. How does this make sense?
That's trolling.
How does this make sense? Gravadal was voted the fan vote man of the match when Anthony Samio was clearly the most impactful and man of the match award on the ball.
That's trolling. They're trolling. That's trolling.
Because that don't make no sense.
That's trolling. That's trolling. That is a lot of people watching are hoping for Man City demise, and it just happened to caught fire. Like especially in election season right now, people go and vote, right? And you can do a write-in ballot. If I was to put on social media, vote Junior for city inspector, write-in Junior because we don't like that the brother there. And everybody go, oh, let's go vote for him. That's the only way Gravity. Come on, man. That's no.
That don't make no sense. All right, Saminio, ball of the week. We just go and get this out of the way. Bournemouth could have won this game easier. Probably could have ended up with a 4-1 or even a 3-4 goals. Junior, Pep Guardiola spoke about injuries, but they really got played off the park.
Well, he said injuries is not a reason to injuries is not a reason for excuse. It's not an excuse. But look. Well, sometimes, and I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes we look at games and time code them. So like I would just talk, and I'm going to contradict what I just said. Arsenal game next week is a must-win game for Arsenal, right? But I am going to argue back now and say Man City losing this game, whatever. Because they will recover. The problem, though, that Pep faces is Liverpool's resurgence. That's his real problem. And I think he's fighting what I'm called the fat cat syndrome. And there's something for that Jermaine said himself. He's trying to survive to January to find Rodri's replacement. That's a possibility. But it might not even be only be Rodri. They might be trying to replace Kevin De Bruyne as well. So something is off in City. We can sit down and overanalyze it. But I can say at the end of the day, this is a team that has the pedigree, that have shown that every year we say, this is the year City drop off, this is the year City drop off. I am confident they will recover. The problem, though, again, is you have a very motivated Liverpool. That is the fly in them ointment, because I'm telling you this right now. It wouldn't surprise me. And I said earlier that Aston Villa might overtake Arsenal. Not gonna happen. Sorry, because Aston Villa play Liverpool next week. Not happening. This Liverpool team, they're starting to round out to be a juggernaut, in my opinion. And even with all of their flaws, because they have flaws.
You're really laying on the the hype for Liverpool fans.
And I think they deserve it, because
you're really going in for Liverpool fans.
Yes, I am.
Liverpool fans, Junior is waxing lyrically about Liverpool to really kind of get you all excited. Don't get carried away, man. 10 ball games is the thing, man.
I know it's 10 ball games in the thing, Benton. But when you look at all the teams, all right, look at Arsenal. I think Martinelli, who is injured?
Who is what? Injured?
Yeah. No, Martin. Oh.
I mean, Martin Odegaard is
Odegaard.
Is really missed. So forgot to highlight his absence. I'll forget about it.
No, but when you look at all these teams, right? I can say Liverpool, they don't have an injury crisis or any injury worries, but they need to mature somewhat in the slot way, right? There are too many question marks around Arsenal. There are too many question marks around City. And those two teams are really legitimately the only teams that can compete with Liverpool. Nottingham Forest soon drop off. Aston Villa soon drop off. Chelsea, we'll see. But I don't think Liverpool, and especially how Slot treat Darwin Núñez and motivate him, I'm telling him, it's not wax lyrical. I really see Liverpool running away with this thing.
We'll get to Liverpool here in a few minutes.
And Salah, Jeremy has said Liverpool is a Salah injury away from crashing and burning. I don't think so.
Let's see.
I think
we'll discuss Liverpool here. We could just finish up Man City and Bournemouth, because we have Bournemouth listeners, and we have to give credit to this team and what Areola is doing, because they've defeated Arsenal at the Vitality Stadium, right? And now they turn around and defeat Man City. So they know who they are. They're playing counter-attacking football. The speed on the wing is outstanding. Have to give Areola credit, Coach Areola, who's doing an excellent job with the Cherries. Excellent football. It's kind of night and day with what you see and what's going on at West Ham. Now, granted, Areola has been there over a longer time, but relative to Lopetegui. But you see Areola imprint there when he just got at Bournemouth when he just got there. So you have to give the man them credit, because A, they weren't intimidated by the shirt that is Man City, and B, they subsequently went out and probably should have won the game maybe 4-1. That's how critical and how decisive they were. Yeah. I will say regarding Man City though, Junior, I'm going to give a bug of the week to Gundogan. In fact, bug since he returned. Ilkay Gundogan has not turned up since he returned. The style of play is too pedestrian, too slow, and especially when teams are packing, you have to accelerate the movement of the football. Junior, care to chime in on the pace at which Man City is playing in terms of a low block facing this low block defensive setup. And Phil Foden is another one who's not playing any ball.
Sometimes, I mean, Gundogan coming back should have never even been celebrated. That should highlight a problem. Like, why we couldn't replace Gundogan? Why you want to leave Liverpool? Why you want to leave Barcelona and forward back to Man City? Why you never go? Why Arsenal never take it? Why you come back here? Like, why? Like, why would we take you back? So I don't know. Maybe there's holes in the squad and them taking our water. Maybe Rodri. It shows why Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. And Vinicius Junior for sit on one side. I don't know. I mean, again though, Man City, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too far overboard and say, yeah, you know them done. Because next thing, them just go on a crazy run. Because you know they're capable of doing that.
Yes, they are.
So we not tell everybody, except Liverpool fans, to relax, because eventually they will forward back.
Liverpool defeated Red Hot Brighton 2-1. Came from behind. Junior. This team finding ways to win football games. Mohamed Salah named man of the match. The Chiesa issue for me. Chiesa was brought in as the potential backup to Salah. And at some point, we need to get Chiesa up on the football field, playing more minutes. Federico Chiesa. And it seems like he's still, I think the latest I heard from Slot, I'm going to really want to focus on a negative, but just in the totality of going in a title run for Liverpool's perspective. Rightfully so, at some point, Salah could pick up an injury. At some point, Salah could not be going at full tilt, and you need a Chiesa to come forward and at least step forward and play some football and contribute. But outstanding coming because there was a point in this football game that I thought Brighton was going to see this over the line.
Yeah, and then until Liverpool find a gear, which cannot. I have to keep saying it. I'm telling you guys. Well, we'll see, because everybody go through adversity, right? Everybody face some situation where, all right, now let the leaders in the locker room stand up. And we'll see when Liverpool reach that hurdle. But at the rate that they are going and the way that they are playing, and knowing that they have so much room to get better, be very mindful. Be very mindful. And I'm telling you again, there's something about. And you said last week, you said Darwin Núñez a play some ball. Right?
Yeah, I give Darwin Núñez credit. He's not scoring the goals, of course, the sitters, but the work rate and the connection, the link-up play with the wide players, to me, is something, not just to me, because other people say the same thing. So
Everybody see it.
I am identifying anything magical. It's just that the link-up play is very, very good for this Liverpool outfit.
Yeah, and you talk about new manager bounce. You never know. There might just be an extended new manager bounce run. I don't know, but from what I see though, and what I know is to come, yeah, Liverpool is for real. And I think
the concern for Liverpool though, Ibrahim Konate had to be subbed off at the 45th minute. Junior, Ibrahim Konate is a huge part of whatever Liverpool has done this far. And we talked about this last weekend. We discussed this in length about how his ability to run back and cover, not just for himself, but for the less mobile Virgil van Dijk, is a bit concerning. So let's see how Liverpool deal with this, if it's any sort of long-term injury for Ibrahim Konate.
And make us see, because if I trying to run down them injury list, Alisson, Harvey Elliott, Jota, Chiesa, Konate, and Robertson out of form. And it's Liverpool had their own troubles, but Slot managing well. And Chiesa didn't have a preseason, so they are taking their time with him. But at one point, Liverpool had 4 forwards on the field at the same time.
Yeah, so the objective
I
was,
like what
hey,
we seen from Liverpool.
so basically the man say, yo, we have to win this football game. We don't know. Okay, Fabi says Konate said he will be fine for the next game. Okay, cool. Because he's an integral part of Liverpool's defensive setup. Really impressed. In fact, we give ball of the week to the youth and his work rate. Junior, other EPL results that we want to highlight before we take over set from the EPL. No, wait, before. Yo, Southampton finally win a game. Big up yourself to Russell Martin and Southampton. Finally win a football game. Big up. Southampton is staying in the league, Junior. Staying in the league after they defeated Everton 1-0 at St. Mary's. So I just want to highlight that. Go ahead, Junior.
You said after 10 games, you're saying Southampton is going to stay in the league. That's what you said.
Well,
right?
we all have to start somewhere, Junior. We all have to start somewhere.
All right.
West Ham got fixed up 3-0 by Nottingham Forest. Lopetegui, do you continue this Lopetegui thing, or you just said, you know what, forget about it. Just let him coach the year, and we'll see what happens in the summer.
If you let him coach the year, you might as well keep him for next season. You can't.
But can you run that risk? Is there any worry about West Ham flirting with relegation?
Yes. Because right now they are 6 points clear.
Okay.
6 points clear right now. There are 2 more losses away, and Ipswich having 2 wins, finding 2 wins away from overtaking them. So
yeah, so they've won how many games? 3 games so far this, and their last victory was against Manchester United. In fact, it's probably the victory that actually sealed the defeat that probably helped seal Eric Ten Hag's fear, right?
Yeah. And Fabi said West Ham have to go back for Moyes. BM say I think it's safe to say Mikel Antonio is no longer an EPL level player. We knew that like 2 years ago. That's why.
Yeah, we want to leg off Mikel Antonio, because it's not Mikel Antonio's fault. Mikel Antonio is just a player who's doing his job. They signed Skamaka at West Ham, and Skamaka could not keep the 9 shirt. They signed Fulkrug, formerly of Borussia Dortmund, and he couldn't keep the sign. Someone wanting to leg off Mikel Antonio's shirt. Fulkrug is rubbing the bench right now because he's not scoring no goals.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, Junior, other football news. Breaking news in the middle of the week, or was it Monday or Tuesday, whenever it occurred. Ruben Amorim is the man, will be the man to take on Manchester United. Jose Mourinho's assessment of Ruben Amorim says that his temperament, he seems like a good manager. He expects good things, to paraphrase. Junior, Ruben says that he wanted to start next year. He wanted to take on the role next summer. But he was told that it's either no or never. Junior, talk to me, family.
Now, real quick, rough run on the timeline. Remember, Ruben was is the heir apparent to Pep at Man City after this year, right? That was already like open and shut, already talked about, widely expected. That's the reason why he didn't even entertain Liverpool in the summer. Then Pep came out and announced that he's staying at Man City. Start of the season, now Ruben is now available all over again. And no, Manchester United said, wait, Ruben available right now? Pep wanted him, bring in Ruben. Ruben looked at them and said, can I wait till the end of the year? And I don't know, I'm not privy, but this is just common sense you can pull from all the reporting. Man U said no, because if I wait, Ten Hag might slip, trip, fall, and win Europa. It's going to be hard to fire him. I might slip, trip, fall, and win FA Cup. Might be hard to fire him. We have to move on right now. What that tells me, though, I remember I predicted last week. I said it last week at the end of the show. I am waiting to hear the news that Ten Hag get fired. I expected him to get fired right after the game last week. Now that Ruben come out and said, I wanted to forward in the summer, what that tells me is that he has a clean slate this year. What that tells me is that he can do whatever the hell he wants this year. What that tell me, Man U not don't lose some game yet, because he's going to try to implement the 3-4-3 system and it's sink or swim, because he has a free ride. So as long as you don't get relegated, you're good. And I think he's going to flirt with it. So he's coming with his whole coaching staff. Him, no questions asked. I am here. So we're going to put you a thing. Expect that. So I said it last week. It would have surprised me if Man U flirt with relegation. We might see it happen this year.
Dude has an impressive resume. Definitely has an impressive CV. No, I will say, my region, big up country said a Bush League that. But irrespective of Bush League or not, he does have an, aka a bad league for the non-Jamaicans. He does have an impressive CV. I mean, he resurrected Sporting, right? Because Sporting was definitely in a very bad place when he took over. And his winning percentage at every place is consistently in the 70s. So, you know, it looked like Manchester United is getting a very, very good manager. I mean, the goal difference is outstanding. I mean, and again, I can't highlight enough how impressive it is to resurrect Sporting, because when he went to Sporting was the laughing stock of the Portuguese league. I mean, I think Porto and the others were like, yo, are you that side that? So, but with all that being said, is he the right man for Manchester United?
We'll never know, because it's the same. This is deja vu. This is the same question you asked 2.5 years ago when Ten Hag was hired, and how Ten Hag's resume is great and yada 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 yada, bastard and cow fat, and now the Hag get jerked. We don't know. Now, looking back, I would say Ten Hag signed his death warrant when he told Ralph that he wasn't needed at the club anymore. Remember, Ralph Ragnick was supposed to stay on after his stint as the interim, and he was supposed to be an advisor because of his history of building teams, especially in Germany. He has a great history and a reputation of building great club teams. And somehow along the line, that was already in contract and everything. And then Ralph made his comment about Manchester United needing heart surgery. The board never liked it. And the next thing we hear, Hag said, Ralph, you can do road, right? It's the same thing now with Van Nistelrooy saying, I would like to stay at the club. Van Nistelrooy publicly said it to them.
Yes, he publicly said he would like to remain.
And if I was Amarin, I would listen and say, yes, brother, stay. And I'm going to tell you why. Ronaldo did an interview with Ferdinand, and he talked about how people sitting down and punching paper and thinking them know football. And said, that's the problem with Manchester United. You have people making decisions that never played football before, that don't know the club, right? Ronaldo and Amarin were teammates for Portugal. Ronaldo is a legend at Manchester United who was thrown out by Ten Hag. Ronaldo, I am 100% sure, has taken phone calls from Amarin about Manchester United.
100% sure, Junior. No, it's possible, but you can't be 100% sure. It's 100% likely. Sure. It's highly likely.
Listen, Junior right last week. Junior is right this week. So listen, Amarim, don't get your bars to drop down to the ground and think so nobody can talk to you. Listen to the man. Keep Van Nistelrooy. I'm telling you. And when you come on, tell some players you are not needed at the club. Then we can move on.
and we need to move on from this, but why could Van Nistelrooy remain at Manchester United in and coach the academy squad? Why does he have to be part of the first team coaching staff?
He doesn't have to be part of the first.
So it's just send him go coach the under 23 team or Manchester United B team or whatever the heck it is.
And be an advisor. Just be an advisor to the team.
I don't need him as no advisor.
Benton,
develop the pipeline for the players to feed into my team.
Is this your team?
Okay, go ahead, Junior.
No, that's bad advice.
Well, I noticed Manchester United brass and fans don't know success and don't know how to go about kind of incorporating people into success. I mean, come on, send him go coach the B team. But you know, he will. What game will be his first game, family?
Not next week. Next week is his Roots last game. Leicester game is his Ipswich. I think Ipswich.
Ipswich. So he will get. So when is the international break? So he will take charge after the international break. Is that the plan?
No, I think the game before. Let me look. I think the game before the international break.
See, that is idiotic to me. Why don't just let him take charge after the international break? Or not idiotic, but what's the mindset behind that?
I don't know. And I could be wrong. It might be after the international, but I'll tell you that.
Ruben Amarin, any details regarding his contract? Length of time, money, blah, blah, blah. And how much Eric Ten Hag got get paid out?
13 million.
All right, okay. Good luck to Manchester United.
So, yes, it's after the international break.
After the international break. Makes sense.
So, Van Nistelrooy coaching against Panathinaikos and Leicester, and then that's it. And then Amarin have Ipswich, then Bodo Glimt, and then Everton, and then Arsenal, and then Nottingham Forest. So he has in essence 1 week, 2 week, 3. He has a 3-week preseason with this squad, with 3 preseason games before he plays against Arsenal. I will see what them really make of.
All right, before we officially leave the Premier League and Premier League related news, should we give Nottingham Forest a shout out, some sort of ball of week? And because Nottingham Forest are wake up the answers, aka in the top 4, currently sitting 3rd.
Yes, and remember, this is the Nottingham Forest team that invested heavily in their squad, turned over the whole squad, brought in Nuno, and when Nuno came in, they took a dip. They beat Man U in his first game. Then they took a dip, and they're just steadily climbing right now. So hats off to the Nottingham Forest brass for sticking to the plan. The season not over yet. They can fall off the cliff. But after 10 games, nobody saw Nottingham Forest in the top 4. Nobody saw it.
The schedule is kind of, I guess you play who in front of you.
Exactly.
Crystal Palace, West Ham, Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Chelsea. They drew with Chelsea. They lost to Fulham, and 2-2 with Brighton. 1-0 over Liverpool. Yes, that would be the marquee matchup. Yes, I remember that. And then Southampton and Bournemouth, and they drew with Wolves. So,
but they're starting to look like old-time Wolves. They're starting to look like Nuno's Wolves.
Yeah, starting to look.
They are.
All right, stepping away from English Premier League and English football news to over to the Ballon d'Or, and of course, there's a lot of noise around Vinicius Jr. But before we even get to Vinicius Jr., let's focus on the Ballon d'Or winners themselves. Of course, Rodri won it as the Ballon d'Or winner for the men. Junior, this is just the way I look at this thing, is just an award ceremony thing, and it is what it is. Your thoughts on Rodri winning this Ballon d'Or, family?
I think it's unfortunate. And why is it unfortunate is, when you look at the Ballon d'Or, it shows how much football has changed. Because we get so recent football fans have gotten so spoiled when it come on to the Ballon d'Or because it has always been Ronaldo versus Messi, and they have Lewandowski had his 2-year run or 3-year run in that. Xavi had a 1 run in it. You had other players who come and flirt around. But the recent football fans, they got to see the brilliance of Ronaldo and Messi, right? But before that, and I guess we reach a stage where we can call ourselves old. Look at the Ballon d'Or winners prior. And look at the competition and the level of ball that was being, individual football that was being played. Because one hot take I'm going to give you is footballers were better individually prior to Barca's resurgence. Football was an individual sport. You had individual brilliance on the field. Now it's a team sport. Now football is 100% team sport. And the Ballon d'Or show it. Because remember, this is the same Rodri that me and you, Benton, sat down his first game at Man City. I was said, hope Pep kept the receipt for this player because without Fernandinho, Rodri was lost. And Rodri was always late to the ball. I would see this man play in a system and get better and mature over time. But no way, no how did we ever think he would have won the Ballon d'Or. No way. And I think he deserves it. I think he is the best system player in the world right now. And that's a hot take, but he's the best system player in the world. And Vinny is a relic. His playing style is of an old style of football, and him cry too much because you're not even the best footballer on your national team, but you want Ballon d'Or. You're not the best footballer on Real Madrid, hands down, but you want the Ballon d'Or. Better go sit down, man. I'll stop that damn cry.
I kind of disagree with the perspective on football is always a team sport, and it's just that the Ballon d'Ors, for the last decade or so, has been dominated by these two outstanding players. I mean, it is what it is. You win this award, because journalists and other globally and other people vote in this thing because it's an award ceremony. It's no big deal. To me, I guess I can't tell Vinicius Jr. that, but
it is a big deal.
But I have no problems with Rodri winning this award. I thought he has done very good for Man City. He won the European Championship with Spain. I personally would give it to Dani Carvajal. I think Dani Carvajal winning the Champions League and the European League with Spain, but what do I know? I more have a bigger issue with the response by Vinny and Vinicius Junior's network. Come on, just cut out the foolishness. You're not entitled to win the award, Vinny. You just cut out the foolishness, brother. Cut out the foolishness. I think it was childish. It was childish, very, very, very childish behavior from Vinicius Jr. Rodri got the award. You tell him congrats and you keep it moving. One big up Bomate. She won the women's Ballon d'Or award, and she's also another crybaby, but she's also an outstanding baller. So, a
big up Bonnie Shaw too for where she finished. A lot of Jamaicans, including myself, can make an argument that she should have finished higher, but regardless, it's a great accomplishment. And they should be celebrated.
Yeah, I think I probably will make a larger argument. I think Xavi Alonso may have a larger argument for Coach of the Year over Carlo Ancelotti.
Yes.
Because what he did with Bayer Leverkusen and, to win the double and to topple the mighty Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. Wait, did they go unbeaten in Bundesliga? Remind me again. Did they go unbeaten in Bundesliga?
I think so. The first
Remind
loss.
me, the BM, if you can remind me. So
They did.
yeah, so thanks, Junior. So I think that I would have given the coach of the year to Xabi Alonso award. I mean, nobody from Real Madrid would have get no award. Especially after them pick up what? The four-piece meal from Football Club Barcelona and El Clasico.
But that's not for this year. The Ballon d'Or is for last year.
Brother, we're looking, optics is saying a lot. Why you think Real Madrid people have not show up? It's not just because we didn't get the award. They're embarrassed about the four.
You think that's why they don't show up?
It's not very good when you just like get 4 love.
Put on your Barca hat, man.
Yeah, man. Football Club Barcelona I beat and teach. But congrats to man called Rodri. Man City definitely miss his services. Definitely.
And BM says Vinny did nothing for Brazil. Copa Vinny is like Brazil's Leon Bailey. And he also said if not Rodri, then Martinez from Argentina. He's a very underrated player. Key player for Inter and Argentina.
Nah. Lautaro Martinez can't get no Ballon d'Or.
I thought he was talking about Emmy.
Oh.
But it's not Emmy, I'm talking about that here. No, brother.
I can't. I wish Martinez you talk about.
Emmy
Martinez.
Emmy's supposed to get it.
But because he's not an underrated player. He's the best goalkeeper in the world.
No, but BM talking about Lautaro.
Oh, I can't Lautaro Martinez can't get no Ballon d'Or on here.
Yeah, no.
Can't get no Ballon. Not on our watch.
I think Emmy should have.
Is a Lukaku 3.0 ball of that.
Yeah. I think Emmy could have won the Ballon d'Or this year because the exploits in the World Cup, even though they really did nothing, they won Copa.
Yeah, they won Copa last year, but again, no.
And Aston Villa playing way above board, and he's a key part of that.
No, that not get you Ballon d'Or. Aston Villa play way above board. No, foolishness that.
George, we would like to have a word with you.
So, word out to Vinicius Jr. and Vinicius Jr.'s family and the people around him. Advise the baller better. Calm down with the passa easy. And Junior, I will say this. There's another thing. There's a them call it confession moment. I can't see Vinicius Jr. leaving Real Madrid. I can't see it. A few weeks ago, you mentioned it and I said, hell no. But I can't see it. Can't see that happening. If
they've been gone from the start of the season.
Speaking about leaving a club, your baller, Marcelo, formerly of Real Madrid, is contract terminated with his old club Fluminense. Junior, talk to me about this situation because we don't know the exact details of what transpired. I'm going to show the clip here with Marcelo had his contract from his boys club Fluminense terminated. Seems like manager Menendez was trying to get him on the pitch. The manager said he said something that he didn't like, so I'm telling him to go back, go sit down. Here is the video clip from Brazil edition. For the Brazil edition, now come talk to me about.
And he clearly...
Yo, Menendez just push him on back, say, go and go sit down. Go and go sit down.
And knowing where Marcelo is from, because reportedly everybody at the club hate him. That's reported. Reportedly, nobody likes him at the club, right? And look at when they are putting him on.
Yeah, I disrespect that still, 3 minutes of that ball game.
And you put him on. You put on a big baller for a waste time. No, man, I disrespect that.
This is. So you agree with Marcelo's response?
No, definitely not. No. I'm old school. I am so old school that if I was the captain of that team and I hear this happening, I am confronting. My coach don't have to do that much work. I'm confronting him. So there is a lot more behind this story. He doesn't want to play there anymore, obviously. And the part of the video you don't see is that he put his middle finger up to him.
Oh yeah.
I think that was what ultimately sealed his fate at the club. When he went back and sat down, he put up the middle finger to it was very Granite Xhaka-like. and that sealed his fate, probably.
But his contract was terminated. No, I found it a bit weird, like all this information coming out of Brazil. I've read O Globo News, which is a newspaper down in Brazil, and listened to Brazil journalists, and this consensus that he's such a bad teammate, he's a bad person in the club. Now, granted, Junior, he won a title with them last year, the Copa Libertadores. We didn't hear anything about this. We didn't hear anything about his bad interaction with his teammates at Real Madrid. What do you take in any believe it's a Fluminense PR campaign here to try to, like, how comes we don't hear nothing about this bad Marcelo all these years we are watching playing football?
Why does Marcelo have to be bad at Real Madrid if he doesn't like Fluminense? Like, hold on. What makes us think that Marcelo will be as committed to Fluminense like he was at Real Madrid?
Well, we don't think he's committed to Fluminense as Real Madrid, but he decided to go back to his boyhood club. This is the club that trained him. He grew up in the system, right? And so he returned in with a lot of fanfare, and subsequently they won the Copa Libertadores. I mean, isn't Thiago Silva also at the same club? Because I recall when Thiago Silva was also returning or going to the club, he was posting welcome, welcome. So how is he such a bad player, bad person with this group if we didn't hear about this in his entire career? That don't add up. Like, you can go to some. He's older now. He's probably used. Look, you're forcing me to do it, so I have to do it. Leon Bailey never have any problems at any of his clubs. Why does he have a problem at Jamaica? I don't know if he never have any problems at the club. We have to go back and look through the data.
But that's the question you just asked. So how Jamaica
we see man and man gets down on bench all the time.
Yes, but we don't hear anything about it. So it's the same thing, we don't hear anything about Marcelo. When Marcelo was coming up at Brazil, he wasn't the primary left back at the time. If you remember Cincinho?
Yes.
Remember Brazil went through around the left back before Marcelo really cemented the spot in him. Yes. He didn't throw a fit then. So why is it can't be that, the man come back at this club, he had the nostalgic feeling, no it's not, no the feeling wear off, and he's sitting there like, I really leave Madrid, Spain for complaining of this. And sometimes the joy is just not there anymore, and you just lose it. And I think that's what happened with him. And you never know. You're old man now. Look at you, them what around, you might not even feel respected by them. There could be a lot. So it's a lot going in the psyche of a football player's mind, man. And sometimes it just crash.
Yeah, I mean, it just, in fact, surprisingly, we saw this video of Marcelo, of children trying to take picture with Marcelo, and the security separate them, and Marcelo say, all right, we're going to take a picture of you. And he is actually standing in the security cordon, and the youth is standing outside, and he's behind it. How comes them video they never released from long time? So, listen. I am not saying that Marcelo is not guilty of these accusations. But these accusations are coming from the press in Brazil. No teammate from this team I've seen or heard said anything about Marcelo being bad to staff, bad to players. The coach, when asked about what happened, he said, quote, he said something I didn't like. He wasn't going in to help us. So I told him to sit down, end quote. Now, Junior, you are a big baller. You look at the game and say, this man, you have won, 6 Champions League titles, and this man will put you on, 3-5 minutes in the ball game? And you get dressed up for this?
Yeah. That's why I say I can see his gripe. I can understand his gripe. And the coach, we have no idea what happened behind closed doors. The coach might have hated him so much that he's now sending a message. Because if he's thinking that, Marcello family is up in the stands thinking that, everybody in the stands thinking like, damn, and there's some Marcello reach, it better waste time ball and all. That's disrespectful. And you never know, the coach could even be that petty, put him on, and it's 3 minutes leaving stoppage time after a minute, sub ref, and take him off.
Yeah, some coach wicked, brother. Wicked. And actually, the Fluminense, I think, ended up losing the game 2-1 to Gremio, who scored late on a penalty. So the man saying put on Kennedy instead. I guess Kennedy never do what need to do. But what's his space now? Marshall is a free agent available to sign with anyone. Now to Jamaican football news, family. Let's go to discuss Jamaican football in our Yard Ballers report. On top of the Jamaican football news report, Junior, an article in The Guardian by Matthew Hall. I don't know how we name Matthew, but claims that Jamaica FA falsely claims women team coach was cleared of alleged sexual misconduct. Of course, Jamaica's women's coach is Hubert Busby, was accused of making sexual advances and such and such. Big up to Yardy Ball on X. Yardy Ball on X. I'm going to drop Yardy Ball link in a second here for bringing the story to our attention when it broke. Junior, Dennis Chung of the JFF replied to this. Well, first of all, before you get to Dennis Chung reply, do you have anything to say about this article? The pretty much bottom line is that JFF said that he was cleared by FIFA Ethics Committee. FIFA said he wasn't cleared. The statute of limitation expired, and so the investigation closed. But FIFA allegedly did not interview Mallory Enoch, who was one of the major accusers, or one of the accusers in this case for me. The floor is yours.
Floor is mine. I said at the time, I said that you want to come on, those are the views of Julian. We don't say that. It was too soon. Like, no, you should have never hired him. I said it at the time. Like, no. Simple, no. It's way too soon. And when you read the report now and see what is happening, and statute of limitations passed, and FIFA did the interview. First of all, why the hell FIFA need to interview the accuser? That's the first question. Why the hell you want?
It's a Freedom of Information Act. I mean, Matthew has been. Well, maybe there is a FOIA request. Matthew has been working on the story, and he brought light because the JFF put out a press release saying that he was cleared. So clearly, he's been on the job for quite a while. So clearly, Matthew has been gathering information, and part of his gathering information is reaching out to FIFA, and FIFA under certain legal requirements to honor some of those freedom of information or those media requests to release information.
No, this is not on FIFA. This is not, look, you have criminal investigation, then you have moral statutes. I'm not only have 20 minutes. I'm going to say it real quick. He got away from being tried. I have to choose my words wisely. We don't know
he got away from the criminal charge. Is that what, from being charged in a criminal?
No, because I don't want to imply that he's guilty.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So we don't know really what happened, right? He very well could be innocent. The girl could be jealous and try to sink him, right? And it's a strong possibility. So we can't really go down that line. But he also could be guilty.
Yes.
He got away from that, and luckily, somehow the case statute of limitations, which still don't make any sense to me, because how Bill Cosby go prison?
No, so but this is FIFA's code of ethics now. This because FIFA. No, but yeah, bring it that Bill Cosby's American law and that are for them own thing. FIFA has these limitations on, and according to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, you also have a time frame, a time stamp. It's just like the same thing with Man City and some of these allegations when Man City got convicted and they got tossed out because of time bar. So this case is, I think there's a parallel there where the statute of limitation expired, but according to the FIFA Ethics Committee, is that them never interview one of the accuser, which is fishy.
You don't need to. No, and at some point, that's a whole different show. But at some point, make criminal court take it up. And if you get through criminal court and nothing happened, fine, we move on.
No, you can't do that, Junior. You can't do that. The burden of proof in criminal court is higher. The standard in criminal court is much higher. You as an organization, FIFA, have to protect, because we don't know FIFA not necessarily doing a good job of protecting. But you are also, as an organization, FIFA, have a responsibility to, for lack of a better word, protect the people within the umbrella of FIFA. And if you have a brother who is a predator, allegedly, maybe predator is too strong a word, I should not use it, who's accused of these crimes, just like the Zambia coach gets accused of similar crimes, are these things. It may not rise to the level in a criminal court to convict, but
it will.
But FIFA say, yeah, you can't have a woman them up looking at them window and see what them address and do all these things and try and mash works. No, you can't coach. And I think that's what it comes down to for FIFA. It's like, if FIFA, because most importantly, FIFA's Bugsby gave JFF a letter saying that he was cleared because FIFA sent him a letter that the statute of limitation expired and it's closed. So he gave JFF a letter then which subsequently green light his hiring, rehiring, so to speak.
It is a gray area better because I agree with you. And that's where I was going. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. The thing though is, why it's a gray area for me is when you FIFA come in and try to litigate something that has legal ramifications, right? Because FIFA is in the clear by saying, look, it's outside the statute of limitations, so I have nothing to do with it, but done, right? I have my statute of limitations. If it's 3 years, it's 3 years. It passed 3 years, I have nothing to do with it. No. If the accusers can bring it into courts and they litigate that in court, well, guess what now, Busby? And you get found guilty of something, well, guess what now? You just restarted the clock on my statute of limitations because now you are convicted of X. Whether it is assault, whether it's battery, whatever it is. It could even be the smallest of thing. Now we have to revisit this. I don't need to interview the accuser. She's gone through that trauma. Why would I bring accuser to that trauma again when I am not a legal entity? Because if I go interview this accuser and she go back through now and go back through this traumatic experience, well, hear what? FIFA, you have an office in this. Let's say this accuser live in Cleveland, Ohio. FIFA have an office in Cleveland, Ohio. So guess what? You are now liable for damages for her going back through that trauma. I am suing your Cleveland office, and you have to come back Cleveland, come answer these charges. Don't get involved with it, FIFA. Stay out of it. Make the courts deal with it, and I would deal with it afterwards. Where Jamaica is concerned, they should have never hired it.
But the problem is, if you let it go that route, if you stay out of it and let the legal route run its course, then you run the risk of the same civil litigation. All right, you see how what's the former attorney general? What's her name? Whatever her name is, I keep forgetting. That really went after FIFA for corruption and bribery and all them things there.
Right.
All it takes is for another attorney general in a jurisdiction to say, okay, FIFA, we're going after you for not protecting players because you have this brother who is guilty of all these things. Plus, if you get convicted in a criminal court, there'll be more evidence. And then FIFA now, the entity now have to say, boy, does this jeopardize my operation ability in this country, in this jurisdiction?
You run the risk either way. Either way, you're running a risk. Because if you go through and say that he is guilty or run him away, and the courts find him innocent, he's coming back and suing FIFA.
Fair enough. But you don't make a call.
That's what I'm saying. Stay out of it.
No, but the thing is that if you still have a responsibility as an organizer, it's just like at work. If there is an accusation or allegation in this aspect, your employer still have a responsibility. In fact, ball chat have a responsibility to investigate if one of we get accused internally of harassing Miss Producer on a corner. All right? No, because ball chat entity knows that it cannot fall apart because one of us try mash works. And FIFA is in the same light. It's in the same responsibility. You can't ignore it. Now, what I will say is that FIFA dropped the ball with not interviewing the one of the major accuser, the person who submit the allegations. And then you say, we never have enough evidence. Well, that don't make no sense. How you not talk to the person who submit the request?
I don't think it's their place. But BM says, I'm going to be that guy. Is it possible the Busby hire was deliberate by the JFF? Take into consideration the rocky history with the JFF and the Reggae Girls.
All right. BM gonna be that guy. Okay. Dennis Chung, when confronted about this story, Dennis Chung, General Secretary of the JFF, was very, said Dennis Chung kind of have a look of kind of mannerism about him, some feisty mannerism, Jamaican feisty mannerism. Like, pretty much say, it's a wish hunt. This is probably the most widely used phrase in addition with the political landscape here in the U.S. Dennis Chung said this is a witch hunt. He says, how comes you think we're idiots? We're going to do with due diligence. We're not going to hire no man like that. We're going to do with due diligence. Junior, just to make sure I kind of convey Mr. Chong's statement accurately, he said, do you think that the JFF, which is the organization that dismissed Busby when the allegation was made, wouldn't have done our due diligence? The technical committee received information to say that the investigation has closed and there was nothing based on the information that they had. There was nothing to support what was alleged. The letter had stated that FIFA closed the investigation based on the information available. They never referred to any statute of limitations, as the article said. In addition to that, there was an email that Busby forwarded from FIFA stating that he could share with us for employment purposes. End quote, General Secretary Mr. Dennis Chung. JFF.
Whatever. We watch the space because I feel some legal litigations is coming down. But BM says the Busby hire made absolutely no sense. Those are some serious allegations. Then the JFF lied about doing their due diligence, which is in direct counter to what Chung just said. I mean, the question here is, and big up to Dennis Chung, big up to Mr. Dennis Chung, an established businessman in Jamaica. So no disrespect. But how many chances will he get? How many mistakes have he quote unquote made this year? Or how many questionable things have come from his desk this year? And how many more will he be allowed before somebody say, you know what? Come back and clean up this. How many more?
Chung wrapped up and said, not because an allegation is made means you're going to hold it against a man for the rest of his life. Allegations are made against politicians all over, and they are still in positions of authority. You can't, because an allegation is made against a man, hold it against him, and there's nothing to prove that it happened, end quote. Junior, that don't sound good. Yo, Dennis Chung, that don't sound good, brother.
But it's typical, Benton. And
Dennis Chung, that don't sound good.
Majority of our listeners, the demographic of our listeners are primarily Jamaican males between the age of 25 and 40, right? So I'm going to risk pissing them off and losing them. But what Chung said is the typical Jamaican male rhetoric in our society. And he needs to understand that.
Yeah, but it's just a male rhetoric, period. It's not a Jamaica.
But our country and a lot of Caribbean countries, a lot of third world countries have no problem wearing that rhetoric on their sleeves. He might as well just say, yo, the man is a man, I will trust him.
Yeah,
And he
so
could,
you
and
can't hold it against a man, brother.
he could also say that I think he might have American citizenship. Tuesday, I vote for Trump. What him saying.
Because the witch hunt.
Because it's a witch hunt, and sometimes it's the people in power have some serious allegations that is able to go on. And we're going to trust it. Come on, man. In this political time, read the room, brother. Read the room. And know that we speak. No.
Dennis Strong said, quote, just to wrap this up, Dennis Strong said, quote, Chung rubbished the article from The Guardian, and this is Sportsmark's, give credit to the, Sheridan Cowan is the journalist for Sportsmarks who did the story. Big up yourself, Sheridan. Chung said that, quote, does this make sense? If she is the one that made these allegations, do you think FIFA wouldn't interview her? So what it is a wish hunt that they're on. It's almost as if they're saying he is still guilty even though the investigation is closed, and that is totally ridiculous. I don't understand what it is about, Chung also said, but there is obviously something behind it, because the letter never said the investigation was closed based on the statute of limitations. It said the investigation was closed based on the information they had, end quote. General Secretary, Mr. Dennis Chung. Junior, your final word on this from the big up Dwayne, big up you that Wayne, big up yourself, family. Bless up.
Jamaican reporters need to do better. When you get a quote like that, put yourself on record to the next question. Mr. Chung, can we see the letter? Can we see the letter? I'll leave it at that. And we will redact some things on there if you want, but can we see the letter?
So just so we want to repeat this. He says, quote, does that make sense? If she is the one that made the allegations, do you think FIFA wouldn't interview her? So what it is, it's a wish hunt. They are on. It's almost as if they're saying he's still guilty even though the investigation is closed. That is ridiculous. Boy, Mr. Chung sound like Mr. Busby lawyer. Absolutely.
Mr. Busby sound like he's the world's greatest coach and somebody is bad-minding him because he's now taking over a juggernaut team that's about to win the next World Cup. And somebody don't want Jamaica, this juggernaut, to rival their country. Come on, man.
All right, continue our yard ballers report. Final statement on that, family, before we take over.
I hate that. Me done.
Continue our yard ballers report, and information brought to you by Yardy Ball. Big up yourself, Yardy Ball. Check out Yardy Ball on X at Yardy Ball. Follow Yardy Ball. Excellent source for Jamaican women's football. It doesn't matter where Jamaican women play ball, Yardy Ball is on top of it. Check it out, Yardy Ball. Yardy Ball brought to us brought us that Jody Brown opened her scoring at Benfica family. Big, 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 big.
Yeah.
Bunny Shaw.
And our debut, our debut, our first game, and
Yeah.
she scored. So that's good.
Yeah, Bunny Shaw also scored. Reggae Girls forward Natasha Thomas scored 5 goals today for Ipswich. We're not going to really get carried away with the 5 because I Bush League that. But Natasha Thomas, big up yourself, and Lexley Lloyd Smith gets goal for Bristol City. So, Yardy Ball at Yardy Ball, wall-to-wall coverage of Jamaican women's football. Doesn't matter where they play. Yardy Ball is on top of it. Big up, big up, big up, big up family. Wonderful work. Wonderful work. Junior, we have to touch Jamaican Premier League before we take ourselves. I was about to mention Jamaican schoolboy football, but since Mannings got eliminated from the schoolboy competition, we're not gonna really. I'm not in any sort of eagerness to discuss schoolboy football.
Yadala asked if Mason Green would start out for Reggae Boys yet. No. At the rate that Mason Greenwood is scoring right now, I think 7 goals in 10 games, he won't.
Well, the last report on the Mason Greenwood situation was that he wanted to have a discussion with Thomas Tuchel, right, Junior?
Yeah.
Before making. That was the last I heard of it.
He's not.
So, we don't know. Dumbeholden, Jamaican Premier League, Dumbeholden defeated Chapeltown 2-0. Harborview 3-1 over Racing. Arnett Gardens, Junglist defeated Humble Lion 2-1. Portmore fix up Molynes 4-0. Cavaliers down 2-0. Big up to Cavaliers there in the Caribbean Cup final. They will play Sebeco in the Caribbean Cup final. So, Rudolph Speed and Cavalier looking to secure that Caribbean Cup title. They're trailing Tivoli now, though, in the Jamaican Premier League. Portmore sits on top of the Premier League. Molynes down at bottom. Mount Pleasant is in 4th place, which is a bit strange. But, Junior, your thoughts on Jamaican Premier League?
Portmore for sure. But I'm looking for Vere United. Big up Waterhouse. Big up to the Waterhouse family as well. The 2 points off the top. And big up on in the football group on Facebook. The Waterhouse social media account is very active, and I love what they're doing and in terms of giving out player profiles, giving out coaches information. So big up Waterhouse doing it right on and off the field.
Yeah, Waterhouse fully loaded. Big up yourself, Firehouse. Big up yourself. Junior, before we take ourselves, Yuda says, so in other words, England rally back, so him now better forward.
Yeah, I would. If England, if can't play for England, go play for England.
Yeah. Let's see. BM says I've been saying it's since a wait and see situation with Greenwood. The England door was never permanently closed. Yet Mason will always feel he has a chance if he's playing well at his club. Yeah, BM has been saying definitely a wait and see situation. Junior, Dakar Cup football, just want to highlight Clarendon College. Dominance of the Dakar Cup will come to an end. They were eliminated by Cornwall College. Junior, I mean, Teacher Hyde looked like him get too preoccupied with Phoenix Veer work. But I mean, what a stellar run, though. I mean, and I do expect Clarendon College to be back next year.
Yeah, and we have to remember, schoolboy football is a 2-3 year window for a good team. Probably even 2 years, max, on average. You're not going to have a football team and be able to have a factory. That means you'll have to have a certain level of talent or a certain level of talent potential coming to your school consistently for you to be this successful. So, anytime you see that one, you just hats off to Lenny Hyde, a great developer of talent. He has proven himself. Hats off to Burtis Bell, to Yesu got a Manning Cup. Same thing happened to Manning Cup, to Georges. The Georges get the head kick off from Mona. Does that mean the Georges done? No, it's just that the talent right now is just not a good mix.
Yo, and also want to shout out, big up to the family over at JamaicanSchoolboyFootball.com or SchoolboyFootball.com. Probably the best site on the web for wall-to-wall coverage of Jamaica. Well, not probably, it's the best site on the web for wall-to-wall coverage of Jamaican schoolboy football. Schoolboyfootball.com is the site. And Military Guna Sports or MG Sports TV on YouTube. And for wall-to-wall coverage of schoolboy football. They do a great job. And Esther, what's Esther channel? I don't remember what Esther Campbell also on YouTube with some of the streams. Check out those content. The quarterfinals for Manning Cup, Group A, Jamaica College, Kingston College, Mona, Tivoli Gardens in Group A. Group B, Campion, Excelsior, Heidel, and St. Catherine in Group B. Quarterfinals of the Manning Cup. Top two teams will advance to the semi-final. Excelsior might be looking good, but as we said, Mona is impressive. It's absolutely.
They're the standard bearer now. They are. Huh? They really are. They are the standard bearer now.
They're standard. And also one shout out, speaking of Excelsior, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Gregory's interview, Dr. Gregory Horton interview with Walter Blacker Pearl Boyd. Check out that interview on YouTube. Very, very insightful discussion with Walter Boyd. I mean, about his upbringing and what drew him to the game. So, check it out on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Junior. Go ahead.
No, wait until we need to do something about Arden Aya. Maybe can coach his side.
Over in the Doncaster Cup, the quarterfinals, teams are Group A, Froome, big up Froome, big up yourself. Froome, Glenmuir, McGrath, and Stets. Boy, who did I complain? A Manchester Principal Junior complained last week about favorable...
Was it Manchester or Stets?
I think it was Manchester High Principal, because Wellington is the principal at Stets. So he was... I think the complaint was that Stets was getting favorable schedule.
Yeah, they were getting favorable schedules, yeah.
Over in Group B, Central, Gavin Massey, Monroe College, and Ocho Rios. By the way, big up to Central for advancing to the quarterfinal. Which one is that school there with Central? Anybody know a Central school there?
That's a Central Village.
No, but that Central Village are playing a Manning Cup, right? It's
we know.
Yeah. So, watch the space for upcoming action in schoolboy football. Again, Doncaster Cup, Group A, quarterfinal groups, Froome Tech, Glenmuir, McGrath, Stets.
In Maypen. Central High School is in Maypen.
It's in Maypen. Oh, okay, respect.
That's a playpen.
Okay, well. And in Group B, Central, Gavin Massey, Monroe College. Cornwall College and coach Tapper Whitmore did not make it, so now Tapper Whitmore have time for coach focus on his day job at Mount Pleasant.
And BM says time flies. Remember a couple years ago, we were all talking about this kid Whisper destroying the Manning Cup.
Yeah, BM always we wake up upstairs in the week. But watch the space. Good. So someone run a joke one day. I was watching Stats versus Kingston College, and someone said Stats coming like Arsenal at the Manning Cup. Every year, them a roll ball and can't win a trophy. No, but I think Stats did win the Manning Cup recently. So I think that probably not fair to Stats to equate them with Arsenal. Yeah, so
enough stone. You threw a while ago. There's a lot of
No, it's
stone.
not me throw the story, no. It's someone light a fire because the game between Kingston College and Stats was an entertaining football game. And someone in I stand say, yo, every year Stats a play ball and them now with nothing. Them coming like us now. And Stats typically does have a pretty good group of players. I mean, you know, we know some of the youth them who come through there and them really talented youth them, you know, talented ballers them. All right, that's it. Any comments you want to highlight before we go on we had for me?
We'll catch up with the comments I'm already.
Okay.
Oh, BM did say Jamaica not going back to another World Cup. Busby is definitely no Lauren Donaldson. And he also tried to clarify his Martinez statement by saying Martinez is a big baller. Without him, Argentina wouldn't have won the Copa. Also, he was a top scorer in Syria and Inter won when Inter won the league.
Yeah, you know, that's actually, yep, he was very integral in the Copa America victory. Very integral. Before we go, as promised, Junior, Dwight York will step away from Jamaican football. Just want to get your thoughts on Dwight York's appointment as the man in charge of Trinidad football. We need Soca Warriors back to their level, just like the Reggae Boys. We need all these teams clicking in the Caribbean full tilt like 90s dancehall.
But that's a legacy hire though. That's a legacy hire. I don't know Dwight York to be any big time coach. He's a legacy baller. He's a legendary baller. But show me his coaching staff first. Then we can talk. Because until then, the jury is out. Is that him going to play?
He was coaching in Australia.
Who cares? The man is there's no it doesn't translate easily.
He
and
was
not because
coaching
it's Dwight
in
York.
Australia.
It don't matter.
Because I think both yes, MacArthur. Yeah, in Australia. He did 1 year with MacArthur in Australia. Because I remember Russell Latapy when we were lining up that reasoning with Russell Latapy. He said he wanted to do it, but he was it was moving to Australia. Some foolish. But yeah, man, he did won some football games, Junior, 52% winning. I think they had a falling out with him and the coach, the ownership at MacArthur. So that's why he left the role. And that's the coaching job. MacArthur, no, Trinidad and Tobago. But what does Trinidad and Tobago really need? Come on. I mean, where it's going to hire Steve McLaren?
We will see. But I remember, a couple years ago, we were the number one podcast in
Yes, not anymore. We need to retake what you want. Big up to the entire Soca Warrior massive. Big up Trinity to the bone.
Because the Trinity people are real thinking, we were awarded the number one football podcast in Trinidad.
Number one show. Big up to Lasana, Libert, and Wired 868 News Media down there. News outlet down in Trinidad and Tobago, the part of the family. And big up to Kelvin Jack, wherever you were at Trinidad and Tobago's World Cup goalkeeper. In fact, we did that interview with him way back. So, yeah, man.
He's a member of the show. So,
yeah, man. Big up, Kelvin.
With me saying that, I'm saying it with nothing but love in my heart for Trinidad.
Yeah.
I'm not that excited about this hire.
Let's see. I mean, it's a name. It will hopefully put some fans in the stands, and bring some, maybe some commercial investments.
Yes.
Maybe Dwight York can flex his muscle and bring some money to the program. And I mean, at the bottom line is that for Caribbean football to excel, you need Caribbean teams going full tilt against each other. We need Trinidad and Tobago back. So when Trinidad and Tobago can play Jamaica, it's another battle royale. I mean, this is how you kind of prepare and help each other to push up against the upper echelon to the teams in CONCACAF.
Yes. I agree.
All right. Football family, that's it for this week's show. Just like PTI, we'll try and do a better job next week. Right, Junior? You can connect with us at Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. We're on X at Ball Chat 1. Facebook and Ball Chat. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. On TikTok, we're at ballchat_podcast. Yo, gone a road no family. Well, tell BM if you listen to the whole Lauren Donaldson interview. Hey, BM, when you listen to the whole Lauren Donaldson interview, then we'll get part 2. But yes, we need to circle back with Lauren, but we don't really want to salt him up right now because he's focusing on the season. Monumental achievement. Take with this Chicago red stripe. Just like Chicago stripes or Chicago, whatever they want. Yeah, we're going on the road now, family.